Hello and welcome to the Premier League preview and prediction show. We are going into the third match day of the season. A lot of good games coming up with a lot on the line already as we get into the third week of the season. These are the last games that will take place in August. And there are some really big games, but let's get straight into it with the 12:30 kickoff. This is between Wolves and Manchester City. Manchester City have had some really bad injury news this week, with Claudio Bravo out for the rest of the season with an Achilles tendon injury. He is also on the injury table along with Danilo and of course Kevin De Bruyne. So really not what they wanted at all. Wolves, they've yet to win since the start of the season. A 2-2 draw with Everton at home, and then a 2-0 defeat to Leicester. Interestingly, both games, the opposition have had players sent off. The first game, Jagielka was sent off for a foul on Jota, and then Doherty was fouled by Jamie Vardy. Manchester City, they've had a great start, 100% record so far. A 2-0 win in the Community Shield against Chelsea, a 2-0 win against Arsenal, and a 6-1 win against Huddersfield. So really good start. They've already scored 10 goals in their 3 games. I expect a really tight game here. I think this is going to be a lot tighter than people think. I'm going to go for a win for Man City, maybe 2-0. But I think they'll get the win, but I think it'll be tight. I think that Wolves will really give them a game. Right, next we have Bournemouth versus Everton. So Bournemouth have had an okay start, well, a brilliant start really. They've faced Cardiff and West Ham, both who have had not picked up a win yet, but they've won both of those games 2-0 and 2-1. Everton, they drew 2-2 with Wolves, and then they played Southampton and won 2-1. I think this one will be tight. I don't think there'll be a lot between it, but I'm going to go a 2-1 win for Everton, and they will make it 7 points from 9, so that'll be an excellent start. Next we have Arsenal and West Ham. Both teams have no points so far. West Ham have been really poor so far. 4-0 defeat to Liverpool, and then that 2-1 defeat to Bournemouth. Arsenal, a 2-0 defeat on the opening weekend to Manchester City, and then a 3-2 loss against Chelsea. I think this one will be a comfortable Arsenal win. I think they'll get their first win under Unai Emery after Arsene Wenger left. I really do believe they'll get a comfortable win here for sure. Huddersfield versus Cardiff next in a game that is not a must win, but I think that both teams need the points here. Both teams certainly need the points. Huddersfield have had a horrible start to the season. No thanks to the fixture computer. A 3-0 loss against Chelsea on the opening day, and then that 6-1 hammering at Manchester City. Cardiff, they lost 2-0 on the opening day to Bournemouth, and then a 0-0 with Newcastle. I'm going to go for a Huddersfield win here. I just think they've got more than Cardiff and will get the win. I'll go 1-0 to Huddersfield. Don't think there'll be a lot of goals, but I think Huddersfield will have enough. Southampton and Leicester now. Southampton have had a difficult start. They've just picked up 1 point. That point against Burnley on the Sunday. And then on Saturday, they lost 2-1 to Everton. Leicester, they've been okay. They lost 2-1 to Manchester United, and they played very well in that game, and then won 2-0 against Wolves. I think that Leicester will have enough here. I think that Claude Puel will go back and get a victory. I'll go 2-1 to the Foxes against the Saints. Finally, we have the evening kickoff, 5:30 kickoff between Liverpool and Brighton. So Brighton, they had a difficult start on the opening day, a 2-0 defeat to Watford, and it looked like their bad form would continue, but a 3-2 victory over Manchester United on Sunday, where they looked very good in parts, gave them a brilliant victory. Liverpool are on 100% record, 4-0 and 2-0 their opening 2 games against West Ham and Palace. I'm going to go for a win for Liverpool. I'm going to go 3-0 to Liverpool. I think they'll be very comfortable against Brighton. So that is Saturday, and next we go to Sunday, and we also have a game on Monday as well. So the 1:30 kickoff, the early kickoff on Sunday, is Watford versus Palace. So both of them won on the opening day 2-0. One against Brighton, Watford, and Palace won 2-0 against Fulham. Crystal Palace lost 2-0 against Liverpool, and now will be without Wan-Bissaka, who was sent off for a professional foul. Watford, they beat Burnley on Sunday 3-1, so they've had a really, really good start. I think this one will be a draw. I don't think there'll be a lot between it, and I expect them, after the start they've had, to maybe be around the same sort of area. I tip Watford to go down, but they've looked really good so far. So I'm going to go for a draw. Maybe 1-1 or 2-2. Maybe 0-0, but I definitely don't think there'll be many goals between the two sides. Next we have Fulham and Burnley. This one isn't on TV in Britain. It is just because of the whole the Europa League. So that's why Burnley are playing on Sundays. Fulham, they've got picked up no points so far. 2 defeats in 2. The 2-0 defeat to Palace, and then that 3-1 defeat at Tottenham, where they looked good in parts. Kearney looked very, very good, bossing things in midfield. Burnley, they've played twice, picked up 1 point, that 1 point against Southampton. I don't know how this one will go. I expect it to be pretty tight. I'll go for a Fulham win. I'm going to go 1-0 to Fulham, getting their first 3 points since returning back to the Premier League. And then the game on the TV, the 4 o'clock kickoff, Newcastle versus Chelsea. This game was on the final day, and Newcastle hammered Chelsea 3-0. And a really, really good win for Newcastle that. But they are on 1 point. They had that 2-1 defeat to Tottenham. And then they had that 0-0 with Cardiff. Chelsea, they've looked really good. 2 wins from 2 under Sarri. 3-0 win over Huddersfield, and then that 3-2 victory with Arsenal. I'm going to go for a Chelsea win here. I'm going to go 2-1. I think that they'll get the win. I think it'll be pretty tight, but I think that they'll get the win. Finally, we have Manchester United and Tottenham. So Manchester United, with the big story of last week when they lost to Brighton. After that 2-1 victory over Leicester, they lost to Brighton. Tottenham have a 100% record, a 2-1 victory over Newcastle, and then a 3-1 victory over Fulham. I am going to go for a 1-0 win for Manchester United. I'm going to go for them to bounce back. Usually that's what they do. Once again, I don't anticipate a lot of goals, but I just think they'll have enough. That's what they usually do. They usually get these results when they need it. They usually win these kind of games. The kind of games they win are, you know, the big boys at home. They usually win 1-0. They'll sit tight. So I'm going to go for a win there for Manchester United. So that is my preview and predictions for this weekend's fixtures. Tell me your predictions down below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.